A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
If you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just...
Right.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm your girl Trish.
I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And we are
Black Press.
If this is your first time watching, please remember to hit like, comment, share, and
Subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications for all future episodes. So, I mean, if everybody want to talk about Diddy, we might as well put our point in, right? So, Diddy, if you don't know, he in jail, right? Okay, we saw it coming. But Dr. Umar got something fresh to say about it. So let's just find out what he got to say.
I'm talking about the timing, not just the agenda, the timing. You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? You know why they gave black people Puff Daddy during election season? The reason they gave you Puff Daddy during election season, the reason they decided to serve up Sean Puffy Combs a few weeks before the election is they want to distract you from the laws that they are passing. They want to distract you from the policies that they are enacting. They want to distract you from the initiatives that they are implementing. This is a distraction. And because they know black people love to see black people disgraced, humiliated, and destroyed. They know black people love to see black people disgraced, but you don't know why they did it at this time. I'm talking about the timing, humiliated and destroyed. They said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want black people to pay attention to. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want American Negroes or Africans around the world to pay attention to. And we fall for the bait every time. Roll through Black TikTok and all you see is gossip and conversation about one man at a time like this, then you know you are engaged in a grand distraction. Sean Combs is a distraction. And anytime you see something like this, you should ask yourself, what are they trying to distract African people away from? One of the things they want to distract you away from, they want to distract you away from the fact that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no agenda for African people. One of the things they want to distract you away from, before they gave you Sean Puffy Combs on a silver platter, before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Kamala, what are you going to do for us? Before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Donald Trump, what are you going to do for us? So that's why they arrested Puffy. It has only been, tomorrow will be 7 days. Tomorrow, Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Sean Puffy Combs, the diddler, would have been it ain't been a full week yet. It hasn't been a full week, and you emotionally immature Negropeans It hasn't been a full week yet, and you emotionally immature Negropeans have taken your attention completely off of election 2024. You have taken your attention completely off of the Black agenda from 2024, and you have put it, that's why, on Puff. You have been outsmarted, you have been outmaneuvered, and you have been out-strategized by the white power structure once again. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off at the Playboy Mansion. Puff Daddy had intermittent freak-offs. Hugh Hefner had a living freak-off, 24 hours a day.
He right, 100%. Not 100%. Let me. Whoa, not 100%. I mean, in a way he's right, but in a way he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is happening and it's distracting us, but I don't think they planning it.
I don't think so either.
Like,
yeah,
these things are happening, but there's nobody up there pulling strings. Mankind is not diabolical enough to be pulling any strings like that.
Yeah, because this stuff was already set in place.
Yeah.
So,
but it is a distraction, and it does happen to us. But you know what our biggest distraction is, is what we like. Okay, so for men it's sports, for women it's drama, for men it's, I guess you could say, sex. But for women, it's sex too. But it's all of the distractions that keep us from doing the things that we necessarily need to do. So anything is going to distract us.
Yeah.
We would not have reacted to George Floyd's death on camera if it had not been for the fact that there were no sports or additional TV shows because we were locked in COVID.
I don't necessarily agree with that because
we wouldn't have cared.
No, because recently with all the deaths that have been happening, I think we pay more attention to it. So when we pay more attention to it because we don't have the distractions. I don't think that correlates. So? I don't think it correlates.
I think George Floyd's death and everything that happened afterwards was because we had less distraction.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Are we marching like that for everybody else? All of the other, like, it would be something like every time something happens where we're now seeing people being murdered on camera almost weekly now, we're not in the streets after everyone because we have other things to distract us.
Well, that's a valid point. However, there's still people that's like on the front lines that's trying to represent for Black people, saying that we want to be treated in a particular sense, right?
Yeah, but we're not in the streets. Like, we don't have like the same numbers that we had when George Floyd died. And then we still didn't get the results from it. We didn't get any results from it. We still didn't get the results that we needed. And no, because people are still being killed by cops.
There was change, but it's not big enough change.
Nothing big enough.
No.
And there should be pressure every time it happens, that every time something happens, there has to be another big change, another big change, another big change until something happens. So we get distracted from that, but they still weren't going to give us nothing. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump still were not going to give us anything significant, no matter what you say. No matter how many questions you ask them, they still don't give us nothing because guess what? You still ain't got nobody else to vote for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It just boils down to them too. So
nobody else is gonna vote in numbers for dang, I didn't even forgot his name.
the third one.
I can't remember his name.
It's not even that important.
Our third part, and I know his name. Dr. West.
Okay.
I can't remember the full name. But it's the distractions. He's 100% right. But it's not, I think Diddy has been hit up like this because they didn't get him the first time.
Yeah, they're trying to make it stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, if you, because I watch like a lot of crime shows.
Yeah.
So before they actually like make the arrest and say that they're gonna prosecute them, they make sure they gather like a whole bunch of evidence,
because
so you can be like, you can't knock this down and say this ain't true.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's the... Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. You know.
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah, yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party. But that was at the Holiday Inn, I think. So tell me about your birthday.
We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just a different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants? What?
No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
And then they get a whole bunch of witnesses.
Yeah.
And people that want to come forward and speak. Now you got people suing him. You got people coming out against him. You got people that were in close ranks with him that's turning their backs on him.
Yeah.
So.
The other part was what 50 was saying. What 50 was saying was how when he started making a fuss about them not paying him what he wanted for doing the things that he wanted for Ciroc and DeLeon, you started ruffling these feathers. Okay, we're gonna show you how powerful you really are, which ain't powerful at all.
Yeah,
that's what happened when you start making that fuss. Until we own everything, they always got a way to overdo us. They always got a way to put us where they believe we need to be at. But and Diddy put himself in that situation. He put himself in that situation, and it's because they didn't get him the first time. I think they should have got him the first time. It would have been way better for him if they'd have just got him the first time, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But you got, what's his name? Dr. Cornel West. My goodness. Dr. Cornel West. I would love to vote for Dr. Cornel West, but he's not going to win because we're not going to put the backing behind him.
He doesn't even get airtime. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why. But Fredo. Fredo's been talking about, Fredo's been in a lot now. Where people are actually listening to him, and he's got something to say.
And a lot of people don't understand it's like a changing of the guards. That's all it is. Like they stayed around, they played the game a little too long. And this is how God works. It's like hip hop is independent, you know, the music is independent, the owning of your masters is independent. It's a new changing of the guard. And all the old parasites is just falling off one by one. Because they never had talent, they just leashed on to the talent. Let me tell you what Puffy was, and what a lot of them is. They mediators, what they call them mediators, right? Where you gotta go, they go-betweens. So you got the Leos who scared to approach the thugs like that. But Diddy from that world, so I could intermediate. I could get percentages from negotiating and making this deal, but you got to give up that butt. You got to give up that butt and royalties. And I can change your family life. Know why? Because he had to give up that butt. People don't understand. That's the reason. That's why it's the reason Puffy don't want to give nobody, any artist he deal with, he'll tell you, I'm make it hard for you. I had to do this. He wants you to endure what he endured. And I felt bad in a sense because he was only trying to feed his family. You get what I'm saying? And he became a victim, and it turned him into a monster just trying to hide his own secrets and not living his truth. And now he in prison just from all this comes from one man not living his truth. I swear to God. Had Puffy just been who he is at heart, it might have been a few jokes. We joked about RuPaul. He's still a boss. You get what I'm saying? I feel bad for the people that got hurt trying to hide his secrets. All the people that been victimized, all the people that been put under the influence so they don't remember certain things because of who he is. And as long as you're under the influence, it ruins your credibility of speaking about anything. So I can understand why he probably kept drugs in the party. You get what I'm saying? All this behavior falls in line behind one thing, trying to hide secrets. So now you got to use this to cover that. And now this makes you cover for that. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It never stops. It's a cycle.
That's why he should have got hit. If they'd have got him the first time, if he hadn't beat them gun charges, when he was in the club with J-Lo, and Sean to tell you, I'll let Sean tell you, because if you didn't know what happened back then, Sean will tell you right here.
Former rapper Moses Shine Barrow is speaking out in the wake of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and federal indictment. Once Diddy's bad boy protege, Moses served nearly a decade in prison for a 1999 nightclub shooting in New York, where 3 people were injured. Diddy attended a party at the club with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and had also been arrested and accused of being involved in the shooting. However, during his trial, he said he fired the gun in self-defense and was acquitted of all charges. J-Lo was also arrested at the scene and was held for about 14 hours but was released without being charged. Moses, who is now the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives, claims he took the fall for Diddy and is now reflecting on his incarceration, calling Diddy someone who, quote, destroyed my life. In a press conference, the politician details their past relationship.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave. Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Moses, however, admits that in recent years, he only reunited with the bad boy mogul for investment purposes.
And for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest, I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life.
E! News has reached out to Diddy's lawyer for comment about Shine's accusations, but hasn't heard back. The former rapper's comments come after Diddy was arrested on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, with a judge denying bail ahead of his trial.
Had Diddy not beat those charges, he would have had a chance to self-correct, be corrected. Yeah.
But you do understand that he was able to beat those charges because, just like what Fredo said, they needed somebody to go in between.
Yeah.
So he's the front man for them. So
Yeah.
he could reach out to the black community, but a CEO can't go to a black community like, hey, I want to give you a deal.
Yeah, yeah,
They can't, you can't really,
he played the role
they can't
that
really
they
talk to
allowed him
like
to
that.
play.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But what I'm saying is that first case, way back when they had that big concert, I think it was like in gymnasium, and all those people got ran over. It was overpacked. They oversold the tickets and all of that stuff, and all those people got hurt. Right when that shot happened at the club, and that lady's face got fractured, that shine went down for the whole thing. J-Lo figured it out. J-Lo was like, okay, that's my check. I don't need to be involved in that, right? But Diddy's ability to beat those cases would have been, had he not beat him, he would have been able to correct himself and actually live his truth. But because of that, what you end up doing is you beat one, and then you stack on top of that all the people that you hurt, and then you beat another one, and you stack on top of that all the people hurt, and all those people that didn't get nothing, and you rise. You think you rising to the top. What you're doing is you're just heaping more on top of yourself to be buried in. And now he gonna get buried because the feds want you because you beat the first case. That's really a big piece.
Yeah.
You gotta use the one that got away, so they coming for you. So they gonna stack up everything they can, and everything. All of this is because you allowed yourself to do so much dirt to other people. What a man soweth, so shall he reap. Right? Now we think that it always has to come directly from what we actually sowed. That's not the way it works. What you sow over here has a natural effect that's going to happen here and end up coming back around. And what we call karma is really you ended up reaping what you sowed. And the more devilish things that you sow onto other people will come back on you.
Definitely.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, and that's what I'm saying. When you get checked, when you get checked to the point where you have to change, that's the only time. We only change our idea. We only change our understanding when we become uncomfortable with we only learn when we become uncomfortable with the things that we already understand. Right? So until when I was out there, when I was a young adult out there doing all that crazy stuff in the streets against other women, not no abuse or nothing, but I was out there. I got all of what I sowed, I reaped in my first marriage. I reaped all of what I sowed from my first marriage. Yeah. And it made me like, okay, this ain't the way to go.
Yeah.
So my mindset had to change. When that happened, then I was able to change and start being successful in life. But until you come to a point where you become uncomfortable, and we don't become uncomfortable with what we already know until something forces us.
Yeah.
And him beating those cases and being able to beat out all those people did not force him to have to change his mind. And now
he felt like he's on top.
Exactly. And now what you really was on top of everybody else's back, and now it's flipping over on you, bro.
Do you think he should stay in jail?
Yeah, because he gonna run. Ain't no way he gonna run.
Of course.
Of course he's gonna run. I would run.
You know, it's crazy.
But then you gotta find something. Only place he could run is Russia. Where else you gonna, Russia or Korea or Iran? Where else you gonna run that's not gonna extradite you?
They're gonna make an example out of him.
Where would you run that's not gonna extradite you though?
But truthfully speaking, especially like reflecting back to Dr. Umar, if you look at everything, he really shouldn't be in jail because of the way society is set up to accept certain things and turn a blind eye to certain situations.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be in jail.
Yeah.
Because just think of the allegations that are against him, the charges that he's facing.
Right.
Right? one of the charges he's facing is sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Are these people actually getting forced into it, or are they selling themselves into it? And then once they get into it, it's too deep for them.
Well,
the water is too
once
deep.
it's too deep, though,
right?
But once it's too deep, they should be able to leave. If
If
you prevent them from leaving,
they should. But they're coming in there signing contracts and NDAs, and they're in this situation and they can't speak out because they basically stole their soul. So you selling your soul and you expecting to get rescued. It don't work like that. Once you sell your soul, that's it for you. That's damnation.
Right. And that's my point. Because when Diddy did it, when Diddy sold his soul, it goes right back. It still goes back to him sowing into his own damnation. And where you think it's going to come from is not always where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
I didn't do the stuff that I did before I got married the first time. I did do some crazy stuff when I got married, but all of that, I didn't do anywhere near to my wife with the stuff that I was putting other women through before I got with her. And all of it came back, but it didn't come just from the other women. You see what I'm saying? It's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you until you decide to change, and you still have to like when King David recognized that he was wrong after Nathan the prophet told him that parable, and he was like, who is it? And he told him it was him. And then after he repented, he still had to go through the punishment. You don't get to get away from it.
Yeah.
You don't get to get away from it.
You definitely have to answer to any and everything that you do. They always go full circle and come back to you.
Yeah.
So the people that put themselves in that situation, it's coming back to them. And then with him being arrested, that has to be haunting for them.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you hear about all the people? Like, there was like CEOs of companies that stepped down. Like, right after, because they know they got it. They on tape too. And then when the tapes describe people, Diddy dragging women back into the room, and him giving, drugs and stuff to the other people that's on tape. In order to be able to control the victims, like, all of that's coming.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that they getting them for. It's not the stuff that we know. It's the stuff that we don't know that they hitting them for.
But the thing about that is society glorifies that.
Yes.
They glorify. I don't understand why everybody in such like an uproar over what he's doing, because
I'm glad I'm not the one to say it this time.
Yeah, because if you think about it, look at that movie 50 Shades of Grey. They made like 3.
Yeah.
Of course it's based on a book, but they made like 3 movies.
Yeah.
And there's bondage, there's all types of crazy stuff in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So they're glorifying the stuff that's actually probably going on in those freak offs.
I don't understand why us as a black community would be upset with anybody doing anything heinous when we consume the very thing, the very music, that's like the actual descriptions of what we're actually going. Matter of fact, just like what Diddy played it in the song.
You know how much I love you, right? Just for those couple of seconds, though, when I couldn't get in touch with you, I'm ready to come over your house and shoot that motherfucker up. You better not be there when I get over the house. That's really how it go down, right?
Exactly. That's really how it go down.
It is.
So you, like, why are we mad? Like, it's this.
It's because everybody likes to jump on a bandwagon. Like, oh, everybody's mad at Diddy, so let's be mad at Diddy. No, you actually listening to, especially if you listen to like Sexy Red and all that.
Okay.
All them,
but
all of that.
You can say all of that. You can say all of that all of the stuff that you upset about the way people act, the way these artists do, the way Diddy did stuff, the way R. Kelly did stuff. But soon as I mention Tupac, you can be like, hold up, wait a minute, whoa, wait a minute now, you done went too far. Why?
That's my only point. And I feel as though he wronged me. You got out of hand and you wronged me. You got seduced by the power, not because he's an evil person, but because money is evil if it's not handled right. If you lose your composure, you can do anything. And fear got stronger than love, and niggas they know they wasn't supposed to do. They know in their heart. That's why they get hell now. Right. They can't sleep. That's why they telling all the reporters and all the people, why they doing this? They fucking up hip-hop, because they in hell. They can't make money, they can't go anywhere, they can't look at themselves, because they know the prodigal son has returned. I'm alive. The ghost is walking around. You know what I mean? And I'm alive talking. In jail, I didn't talk. I made peace. Now, everybody that thinks that I disrespected or I love my East Coast fans. I'm from there. I'm eating New York pizza. I drive New York Jeeps. Want to hear New York. But I'm saying, let's keep it real for a second. If you have the love of music that you are, study. That's my only point. Because I worked too hard on this. And as far as hip-hop and all of that, I feel as though I'm not the god of hip-hop, but what we do on the West Coast, I sold 5 million in 2 months. Biggie album been out 2 years. He's barely touching 2 million. This nigga that had 50 remixes, 1,000. He got everybody in New York in his videos and still barely touching 2 million. I've been out 2 months. My shit sold 5 million with 2 videos out. I'm just starting. These touch us. They can't. They can't. Really, it's funny.
You think the new era of rap is like non-thug life or whatever? Like, where do you see it?
That's what they want to do. Okay. That's what they want to do because now everybody is shell-shocked and they having trauma. We've been having traumatic nights always. I want to get away from it a lot. I tried to get away from it, but you can't. That's what they taught me. Right. The streets didn't teach me that thug life can never die. The world taught me that. I thought I could retire and move on. When I moved on to the so-called real world, the civilized world, these motherfuckers worse than the niggas in the streets. Because I worked too hard on this. And as far as hip-hop and all of that, I feel as though...
Because Tupac spoke truth, though.
Right. He's told the truth about what was going on.
Yeah.
And he did it in the music. And we loved him for it.
But I think what we don't understand is that these are people that have already given up their souls in order for the fame and fortune.
So you saying Pac gave up his soul for the fame and fortune?
I'm just saying.
See,
I'm just saying.
When we talk about...
Yeah, but listen, these are people that have already... They kind of warn you, like, okay, we sing about this and we're about this life, but it took for us to go through some monstrous stuff in order to get where we at. But hey, come listen and party and join in on all of that.
We like that stuff. We like it. We like it. We love when they say they wonder why they call you it. What? Why? Because we like it.
Yeah.
That's like, but we can say that and then at the same time wonder. We can say how much we okay with our music, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still wonder why people support Trump.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's actually
it's
true.
the same mindset. Knowing what's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And still supporting it. Yeah.
Because guess what? That's what you like.
Mm-hmm. And even if he's wrong, they still support him and show up for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can say you are pro-life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But be okay with voting for a convicted or civilly convicted sexual assault. Make it make sense.
Yep.
Are you pro the life that woman had that should have not been assaulted without unwillingly? No.
Yeah. It's just people.
It's our mindset, man.
Yep.
Like we will always justify whatever it is that we want to justify, as long as it makes us feel good. But I mean, anyway, what about that whole issue with Usher and Neo and what's her name? That
the girl from Danny King.
Yeah.
Dawn Richards.
Yeah, and she filed hers right before Diddy got locked. But when she was saying that she witnessed Diddy
hit
Cassie and Usher and Neo was there and
At
then
the table.
at the table and didn't do nothing.
That's really how it go down, right?